Hey, it's a hardcore legend. You know, in life, some people talk the talk, but Zach and Felix talk the podcast. Yeah!
Here's a story about Zach and Felix. They went out for a walk and found it out to talk. And found a bunch of microphones and that's where we are. Zach and Felix talk the podcast.
What is this?
Some sweet intro music.
Oh, I know what I forgot to do.
What?
Plug that into there.
For sound?
Yeah.
So that's not going to have any sound on it?
I usually put the sound in later anyway. I can do it now.
Will it matter?
Probably not. I'll just redo it anyway.
You only have one job.
I have two jobs. One of which being plug that into there.
Yeah.
Second,
Show up.
that's okay. That's it.
Welcome to episode 180.
Is it 180?
180 of,
Zach and Felix Talk the Podcast?
I was going to go Jack and Asper Talk the Podcast.
Jack and Asper. Jack and Asper.
Jack Finn.
Jasper Atticus.
Jasper Atticus.
Jasper Atticus.
If you did not listen to episode 179,
Jasper Atticus.
you should. Taylor already agreed to name our kid Jack Finn.
Did she? Awesome.
No. She yelled at me and I told her we're going to name our kid something and she already heard it. And she's like, nope.
She already heard it. From what?
When she was sitting in the other room listening to us.
Oh, we were screaming.
Yeah.
Jack Finn, Man of Action.
Yes. That was going to be his full name, by the way.
Jack Finn, Man of Action.
His first name was just going to be Jack Finn. Middle name, Man of Action.
Jack Finn, Man of Action.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this will be their theme song.
And Jasper, is this going to be their theme song?
I think so.
I don't know. This doesn't have the. God, yeah, maybe.
It'd be a little montage of them doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see them just getting doing some sit-ups and push-ups.
Yeah.
Not Jasper, but
All the women hitting on Jasper.
Jasper's like, I don't know. They all love me.
I told you I have bookkeeping to do.
Ladies, please. My glasses.
You're ruining my pocket protector.
Good old Jasper. Jasper Atticus.
Oh, the pages of my notebook are getting wrinkled.
Will you guys get your breastises out of my face?
Please, ma'am, I'm not going to put my number in your cell phone because I don't have a phone. I don't trust them. But here's my address.
I don't trust them cellular phones. So 180?
180. We haven't updated the board and
It says 177
Yep.
question mark on the board.
we're still going through things on that board, so
Yes. All right. So it's another week, another day, another dollar.
yep.
It's all about them Benjamins, baby. Woot woot.
We're not getting any of it.
We're not getting any Benjamins?
We have no YouTube money.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting for the YouTube's monies.
Yeah, I thought that just came in right when you had a YouTube channel.
Don't you get like the podcast paycheck and the YouTube monies?
Yeah, we're waiting for both of those. I thought maybe they got the address wrong, but we can't get both addresses wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. So, the only other way we can make money is advertising. We got the big advertising money in the
Yeah, like North Face.
North Pepsi. I don't even buy Pepsi today. I mean sugary water cola.
Yes,
We're off to a rousing start.
we are off to a round start. It's one of those days.
Everyone's it's kind of crazy because we do have some. I'm mad. Not mad, upset at myself.
Okay.
Because of news that happened today. I'm kind of upset with myself. I feel like I dropped the ball on something.
A little bit. I think I know where you're going with that.
And this is in a ball blast segment, which it could.
It could
We
be.
will have ball blasts later.
Yeah.
Because we got some updates on that. But I think I dropped the ball in our death pool.
Yes.
I think everyone dropped the ball on the death pool.
This is a little sad one.
It's sad, but it was expected. I don't know how we missed this.
Yeah.
So for those people who don't know, we broadcast out of Buffalo, New York, home of the world famous Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
World famous.
I mean, there are multiple kids in Africa wearing
4-time Super Bowl champ shirts.
Yes.
So the Buffalo Bills, and so they have a super fan. Last couple of years has made some news. His name is what? Pancho. Does this sound weird now?
It's like cracking a little bit. I don't know.
Is
Not
it
cracking,
everything?
like fuzzy.
Is you?
I can hear myself talking too. It was a little fuzzy, but
Oh, it just all of a sudden got kind of weird.
yeah.
So this guy, his name was Pancho Billa, right?
Yeah.
And he was a super fan. He used to come to games sometimes with like a big sombrero and a luchador mask. He's all billsed out.
Yeah.
Well, a couple years ago, 2017, I believe, he was diagnosed with cancer, and it kind of made the rounds in the news and everything. And he was actually at the draft.
He was
A couple years ago.
last year. I think he did.
Was
the
it
draft.
last year?
I believe
Last year?
Last year he did the draft.
So the 2018 draft.
Yes.
He was able to make the second round pick or announce it and stuff. So
Of course, because Robert Goodell, doesn't he do all the first round picks?
I think so.
Because he's the ass.
And then they usually have like some old player or something do the second round pick. So he made some news because he had cancer. I don't remember even what kind of cancer, but it was terminal. So they gave him this thing, and so last couple months, he kind of turned for the worse. Went to hospice, I believe, or some hospital.
Yeah.
And ended up passing away today. So he was 39 years old, super fan of the Bills. But that's what I'm upset about is no one took him in the death pool.
No one even thought about that. I mean,
It was did we even talk about him? It doesn't even sound like it's something we talked about.
No, it doesn't sound like it at all.
I didn't re-listen to that episode, but that's that he was like prime for us to be able to score some pretty good points. He would have been some big points, but so he passed away for no reason today. Then, at least if like we had him in the death pool, there was some kind of like reason why. Like some kind of comfort. But now it's just like, I feel bad. He had a couple young boys. Just super fan of the Bills, which I don't understand how he was a fan of the Bills because he didn't live in Buffalo.
No, but like I guess what they said growing up, I watched a little bit of news article on him today, was that like he grew up in Texas.
Right.
And from a young age, he just liked the color of the Bills, like the red, white, and blue.
So
he kind of got on that, and then later on in life, he started liking the team more and more. Why
are you crackling?
I don't know.
Ugh.
So
we should redo like these wires and wow.
Stop touching.
I didn't touch. It's not my wire. It was you.
I didn't touch. You're touching my wire somehow.
I'm not touching your wire.
My hands never touch anything.
I think it's you, man.
Listen, I literally sit here with my hands on my lap.
No, you don't. You put your hands on your phone and on the computer because you're not paying attention.
Listen, those things don't involve the wires. So, anyways, so where was it? He was a fan of the Bills from a young age because of colors.
Right. Well, okay, but why not like the Giants and other red, white, and blue teams?
I don't know. I think he also
or the Texans. He's in Texas. I'm just asking.
No, he also see. Stop hitting the table. You do this, and you wonder why
it
nothing.
Shouldn't be that sensitive.
Why nothing works.
It shouldn't be that sensitive, should it?
I guess it is. It's probably short somewhere.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the wires.
It's probably the wires.
Maybe we should get new cables.
Probably one.
Maybe we should spend more than $2 on cables.
Nah, these lasted long enough.
We got them from Korea.
Probably. So I think he also liked the Bills logo too. They were saying.
Okay, no, I could, yeah, but I mean, I can understand as a kid like getting into that, but like so obsessed with it, it's weird to see somebody that wasn't raised around here.
Yeah, but
especially because they're so bad for so long. that kind of thing. But he's right around the age. He would have been right around the age when they were winning Super Bowls, though.
I think so.
He would have been like 10, 12 or whatever.
He's a few years younger than you, so
yeah, he's like 3 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if you're a little kid and they're going to the Super Bowl, yeah, I guess I could see it. It's just odd. But anyway, enough about him. More about us. I was just sad that we didn't pick him.
Yeah, I'm surprised you or Nick didn't, to be honest.
I'm
Even Andy, because Andy does his research.
And I'm usually on top of those kind of things.
Yeah, I do no research, by the way.
You do research.
I do none.
You do research.
No.
Yeah. So he died.
Yeah.
And then another famous person died. Was Tim Conway.
Yes.
Of Carol Burnett fame.
Yes.
He was also in a series of movies, the dwarf movies, where he was like a little dwarf kind of guy. But yeah, he was 85, but no one had him either.
No, I mean, a lot of these people I don't.
We are deep in. We're almost halfway through the year, and nobody scored any points yet.
No.
This year seems to be a little lacking. Did we have hits before this? Oh, and then Silver King.
Yeah, Silver King.
A lucha libre wrestler died in the
was
ring.
In the movie with Jack Black.
Yeah. So, man, it's a little upsetting that no one scored anything.
Yeah.
Oh well, somebody's gonna die and someone's gonna hit big.
I mean, like a lot of people, I don't know who they are, to be honest. Like, I didn't know who Tim Conway was. Didn't know who. Well, I didn't know Silver King was that guy. Like, Doris Day. Like,
Doris Day.
Yeah.
You don't know who Doris Day? Oh God.
So.
But besides, that's it. People are dying, but we're not getting credit for it. So wasted deaths.
So yeah, I don't know who a lot of these people are that like died.
No one does.
Week.
Who cares? Oh, Wild Kingdom guy.
Jim
I
Fowler.
remember him. Yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of upset now that I missed out. That train is gone. Moved on. See ya.
Yeah.
Adios, Pancho Villa. Live long and no, that would not fit this right now. No, not live long. Have a good time, or I don't know, something.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Hashtag thoughts and prayers.
Well, that's what fixes.
So it was a little
update
update for our death pool. So that's sad.
Yeah,
I'm a little upset.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's sad. It's sad in a way too that he was. I don't know if he was a big part. A lot of the Bills players, I guess, knew him.
Well, he was around. He was around.
Yeah, but for mostly what happened recently, so like that's sad. Like it's just, I don't know, just sad time in Buffalo today, I guess. Like,
well, I'm not saying about that. I'm just saying they didn't get points.
Oh yeah, usually they get points. I'm going the high route here and saying,
man,
yeah,
that's some juicy points. Almost slam dunkish.
Almost, but
did someone take him last year?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar at all. I don't know why. If someone took him last year, someone would have had him this year.
Yeah. Man. So if anyone remembers what we did and listens to, I'm sure Andy will be like, I was going to take him, but you guys talked me out of it.
Andy.
Florida. Blah, blah, blah.
I want to say something, too. Like,
okay.
Andy. Last week was the first time I agreed with you in anything in our group chats, and I got nothing for it.
What are you talking about?
Our wrestling group chats that we're in.
Okay, we were in a wrestling group chat.
Last week was the first time ever
that you agreed
I have agreed with Andy pretty much on anything.
What? I didn't even remember what was going on last week.
I think how bad Raw was last week. But
everyone thought Raw was pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's like saying, I agree the sun is hot.
Can you prove that?
It's pretty fucking hot.
Do you know that?
I touched it once. It burned me.
Oh, okay.
I had a little blister on my finger.
Get right up in there.
I went, ow, owie. That's exactly how I said, owie. Then I went and put my finger in my mouth and went, owie. So, well. So what else is going on? Are you just watching? You just looking at random stuff? What are you doing?
No, because
I just see you're just scrolling, not paying
I know,
attention.
I've been paying attention, but
Ish.
I got a lot going on right now.
You touched it.
I know, because I
You
fixed
touched
it. I fixed it, but
All right.
I got a lot going on right now.
Oh, this fell.
So maybe that's what's causing the problem.
No, it's not.
Okay. Anyway, there's a lot going on right now because like we had a little discussion last night at the bar. You said Jeff Florida was like arguing with someone about
Chef Florida was arguing something about
the Confederate statues
being taken down.
Yes.
And so Chef Florida, for whatever reason, it gets in his gets the bee in his bonnet.
I'm with him on this also.
Because I talked to him a little bit. He's like, this is something that I know about. Like a lot of times in like political debates, it's tough because I don't read enough. He doesn't read enough. Like, I'm not up on like the statistics and everything. So somebody can say like, Obama, when Obama was in office, insurance was up and this, that, and there's more unemployment and now, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So people can like, spit out all this stuff, and I don't know any different. Like, if someone could say to me today that with Donald Trump in office, the unemployment rate is better than when Obama was. Okay, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know enough to argue that point or that kind of stuff. And so, when there's like Facebook arguments or anything like that, you can't contribute. I tend to stay out of everything anyway because I'm not that invested in things.
Correct. Yeah. You don't care.
So, and I just don't know enough about it. I'm not going to sit there and but then like if I know somebody, and this is how Chef Florida was, he's read both sides of the thing and why those statues have been put up, and he kept referencing the lost cause. Yes. And that I guess is the South trying to rewrite how the history of the Civil War was or whatever.
It's kind of like the episode of Family Guy when they go down south and they do the reenactment and the South won. Like,
yeah. So I mean, that's what they kind of teach. Like, they try to make it sound like slavery wasn't as big of a deal. It was more about state rights, but the state rights they were fighting for was slavery. Like, there's a whole thing. He's right. I'm not that into it. I just whatever. So whenever he sees like that argument, because we had a cousin put up something about
what if they're taking down those statues, why not take down all of them? Or like that?
Something about taking down the statues.
Yeah,
something, and he kind of got a whole thing going. And then one of her friends, said something about why they should be up and how you should read both sides of the story, or not just like, I don't know if it was like the liberal agenda or whatever, however they put it. So it was like a little conversation back and forth. But I can't believe we're still having this debate over the Confederacy in today's America. Like, I mean, it doesn't understand. I don't understand it.
Because, like, the way everything is now, too, like, because, like, after that yesterday, this pretty much set me down a rabbit hole at work today. Because after I read, like, a lot of those comments in the post I showed you yesterday about the guy selling Confederate flags in Ohio.
Right.
And then I read a bunch of those posts where they defended, like, yo, you guys don't know what you're talking about. This flag represents America. It's like, but it's the complete opposite of America. Like, they fought technically against the Union, which was...
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Is like we're still. I don't live in the South.
There shouldn't be an argument over this.
I don't know anything about the South. So I don't know what they were taught in their schools. If they were taught that maybe it was closer than it was or it wasn't. I don't know I don't know exactly what lost cause writings are.
Yeah.
I do know a little bit about like the sons of the Confederate soldiers are really what pushed to have a lot of these statues built. To basically remind those darkies, as they would probably like, that where they were.
Yeah.
Like, because it was a time of like Jim Crow laws and all this other stuff. Like, even though they won, slavery was, banned, but they were still segregation and all that stuff. So there was like a rise in like that times. I think it was in the the 40s, and then later during like the Civil War or civil rights movements and stuff. So it was all, they were just used as kind of reminders to African Americans that I didn't touch anything that time.
Watch you.
Ah.
All right. So yeah, like, I understand. Like,
so yeah. Oh man.
yeah, that's bad today. So no, I definitely get what you're saying. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's a symbol pretty much now that means it's almost like it's not a symbol of hatred or racism, but it's used by the largest hate group in America, the KKK. Like,
I mean,
that
it's
alongside the Nazi flag.
Wow,
like,
this is weird.
yeah, maybe you're just up too high. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I didn't touch anything this time.
Bring yourself down a little bit.
Well, I'm turning me down. Oh, that's way down.
Oh,
I don't know. All right, it might be better. Okay, so anyway.
so like it's like it at this point in time, it's like. I mean, like, especially when you see people flying the Confederate flag and the American flag side by side, like, what side are you on here? Because they fought against each other technically. Like,
Yeah, is this? No, that's you.
that's me. You're on the right. Stop touching me. Yeah,
I know, but I'm like, I don't know why this is doing that.
Yeah.
This is bothering me now.
it's really loud now.
I'm really loud.
Yeah,
Because you need to enunciate more.
I don't need to enunciate.
You just
I'm trying to talk.
you mumble like a fool.
I don't mumble like anything.
All right.
So like, anyway, like I was saying, it just sent me down a rabbit hole today, and like the amount of people still defending it is almost like you're like, oh, I grew up in this time. Like, did you grow up during the Civil War? Like, you didn't. Like, I'm assuming you're not like 100 and about 30,
Math.
40 years old right now.
Math.
I don't. Yeah, sorry, I don't know the. I was like, you didn't grow up during that time. You probably grew up during the time that like was the Jim Crow laws and the
Civil rights movements.
Yeah, thank
in
you.
the 50s and 60s and
the
stuff.
segregation of the African American people. Like, you grew up during that time, which honestly in American history was a horrible time for us. Like, too, like,
Not for Whitey.
well, yeah, it's like, why are we still doing this in this day and age?
Right.
I mean, we've done it to
it's
multiple, yeah, but it's like, I don't know, it just sent me down a rabbit hole today, and like, I learned people's comments like, please go back to school, or at least please go to a school in the North that will teach you exactly what happened. Like,
But I mean, in all fairness, to in the North, I mean, they have the winners of a war. The winners usually, put their spin on it too, and that kind of came up. So I don't know if everything we were taught were everything exactly true, and whatever they were taught was wrong or whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere in the middle. I think there's some points where it's like it's so far off that people don't trust anything or anyone unless they were physically there. They don't believe it anymore.
yeah,
Like, oh, this was this way, and then it's so easy to dismiss people. Oh, you're just revisionist history and this, that, and the other thing, and so it's so easy for them to do that everything gets kind of confused and mixed up and all over the place and all that business.
like, I'm all for taking down the Confederate statues because yes, they did mean like a time that's past. Like, those people, the generals they have, were the ones still trying to fight for enslaving people. Like, yes, those should be taken down. I'm all for like a wall of remembrance, though, of the soldiers that died, because not every soldier had an option. Like, hey, you had to fight now, go fight. Like,
Right.
so like a lot of those guys might not agree with it, but like, hey, it's like,
If we take down those statues, would we forget what happened?
I don't think so. No,
That's what I mean. I don't know. It was
I
just.
mean, it's still taught in schools. It's still taught. Like, there's.
But is it taught correctly that the South was there for Winnie? I don't know. I don't even know what the law. Look up Lost Cause. Let me see what this is. What he kept bringing up. Lost Cause. And I think that's what's taught in.
Oh.
What? Lost Cause of the Confederacy.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what he kept saying. So what is this?
Let's see. The Lost Cause of the Confederacy, or simply Lost Cause, is an American historical negationist.
Nationalist.
It's an ideology that holds that despite losing the American Civil War, the cause of the Confederacy was just an heroic one.
a just and heroic
Yeah.
one. The ideology endorses the supposed values of the antebellum South, viewing the war as a struggle primarily for the Southern way of life or states' rights in the face of overwhelming Northern aggression. So it's basically the Southern view saying, still saying that the cause was just, they just lost the war.
Yeah.
The cause wasn't slavery. They were trying to protect their Southern way of life and states' rights and all this stuff. It emerged in the decades after the war among former Confederate generals and politicians, as well as organizations like the Sons of the Confederate Veterans and the United Daughters of the Confederacy. Particularly intense periods of lost cause activity came around the time of World War I. So around World War I, they kind of were kind of like licking their wounds still at that point.
Yeah. It's like,
And so it says right here, as last Confederate veterans began to die and a push was made to preserve their memories during civil rights movements of the 50s and 60s. They built a lot of these things as well.
yeah. So like, it's almost like, hey, we're still here. Don't forget about these guys. But like I said, like a statue of a losing person didn't need to be built. Like they were fighting for states' rights, but in their book they also like minimize or deny outright that the central role was for slavery. Like,
yeah, they're trying to say
like,
it's not for slavery. It was for the true reason for fighting the war and continuing this after Jim Crow laws was in the white supremacy was key characteristic of the lost cause narratives. Like the white supremacist, that idea that white superiority was key in lost cause.
yes.
So all this is going on, and like, my brother's, I guess he read some of this stuff. This other guy who was arguing with him, obviously didn't. I don't know. This isn't, just, I don't know if this isn't like, liberal agenda stuff. I mean, this is just what the lost cause was, and their way of thinking. They're still. It sounds to me there was like a bunch of people who lost the war and they wanted to make sure they still held on to the reasons they had the war, why they stood up for it. And they try to kind of say it wasn't about just slavery. It was about everything else. I don't know. And how the North was oppressing the South.
Even though like in their Confederate Constitution, they literally talk about slavery and
Specifically?
Yeah. Like both, like our Constitution says you cannot own a person
Right.
held to service or labor, which includes white people. But the Confederate Constitution addresses like the legality of slavery direct and by name, like saying like, oh, you can kind of own slaves. It's okay.
Yeah, that's cool as long as they're African American.
Yeah,
or
like,
African or black or dark or whatever how they say.
Chinese, like anyone pretty much at
But
that
not
time.
white?
No, because like it like almost like infuriated me at work today. Like people like nowadays in 2019, where like we have such like a mixed race of people everywhere. Like it's not like, well, they're probably like, Utah is all white people, but those are all Mormons.
Damn Mormons.
Yeah, like, but like there's such a mixed race of people now. That's like, how do you still hate someone and still fight for this? Like the color of their skin too. It's like got me infuriated. It's like, what did this person ever do to you? Like,
well, it's also,
it's also taught by.
I don't know. It's.
The hatred could be like taught by like family members and stuff too.
But I think it's tough because we lived in the North, and we raised in the North, and our views are definitely pushed by more of a liberal leaning industrial area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to go as far as like developed or anything, but it's just a different lifestyle in the North than it is in the South. So I can't express how a Southerner feels about the Civil War or how they feel about these, these statues and things like that. I can't understand that. So I can't really, post my thoughts into their head because they don't think the same way as I do. Just like they can't do the same with us. They just look at the North as just super, liberal, whatever, tighty kind of people. Everyone from the north is from New York City or something. I don't know. Just like we think everyone in the south's from like Alabama, So all these stereotypes exist, but I think there's, I can't put myself in your shoes because I don't know your trials and tribulations. So by just doing that, I know to be a little more open-minded on things. I don't know. And it's just with the Confederate statues, like I don't know. I just can't get past reasons why they would want them.
Yeah. It shows like hate, like, cause at one point, like during World War II, like the U.S. like almost imprisoned, Japanese people.
Yeah, we were horrible.
Yeah, we were horrible. We don't have statues for that. Like,
maybe we should remind them who's in charge after the old Pearl Harbor. Pa-pow! Pa-pow! Take that, Japs.
well, it's like the same things. Like, we kind of want to get rid of, like, yes, we still talk about it in like history books and stuff, but we don't want to like announce it to like, hey, we did some bad shit. Like,
I don't know. I just think like I said, I wasn't there. I didn't make these statues, but my understanding is, and my feeling is, these statues were erected were to remind blacks of their place.
Yes.
And what the history, like, remember our history, meaning remember we owned you and we're still better than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. But again, living in the North, bubble, all that. To a Southerner, maybe it's different. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't understand how you can get anywhere else but that place.
Yeah.
And that's just maybe just how I'm wired. So like,
but
it's like, oh, we want to. It's kind of like the Make America Great Again thing, or Make America Great, like. Great for who? Great for you? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like.
But what about everyone else? Like, people want to remember the Confederate statues and honoring these generals, but what were they doing? You could talk about states' rights and all this other stuff, but the heart of the matter was slavery, and the way of life in Southern way of life at the time was all the economics was based on slavery and that labor and the cotton farms and all that stuff. That's what built the South, and they were afraid to lose all that. Mm-hmm. And then when they did, they were afraid that because they treated this race of people so badly that they were going to uprise against them. So they did a lot of things to kind of keep them in check.
Yeah.
And that was part of these statues. And that's just, I don't know. And like I said, I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I read it. And
that's kind of the way I feel
and I haven't seen in my mind like a viable reason for keeping the statues.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of reasons why we shouldn't, and they make sense to me, but I've never had someone say we should keep the statues for blah, 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 and go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good idea there.
No, I mean, there might be. I haven't really had these conversations because people just start getting into shouting matches.
Yes.
But if you could come up with something besides, we don't want to erase our history. Well,
it's not
to
being
me,
erased.
We're not erasing your history, and do we want to conserve our history and honor a history that was bad,
yes,
or poor? Because these same people who I feel if to build the Confederate generals statues and want to keep them, don't tear down these statues. We need to remember our history. Well, what about if I went and built a statue or a mosque or a statue to Osama bin Laden or somebody like at the foot of 9/11, the towers, or just like, we're remembering the history. Don't forget what this person did.
Yeah, don't forget about him.
They would lose their shit. You know what I mean? And it's kind of
like two dudes butt fucking in a place out in the middle of Alabama. Like,
why would that have anything to do? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying because they'll get offended by that statue.
No,
like,
that's not what
I went that way. You went completely opposite way. Me.
No. Here, all right. Let's. All right. My argument. Their argument is let's let's not get rid of the statues of generals because we want to remember the history, what happened here, right?
Yeah.
Remembering the general. So if the general, like General Lee, for example, we have a statue to him to remember that he fought in this war and did these things. So let's not forget about the Civil War.
Yeah.
Now, in my mind, he was on the wrong end. He was like maybe, a traitor to the United States.
Yes.
Okay. So in my mind, like in New York City, the Twin Towers, the 9/11 stuff, that role is played by Osama bin Laden.
Okay.
So if we built a statue to Osama bin Laden to remember 9/11, that's the equivalent. Or people usually say stuff about like another way they put it is the Holocaust. So Auschwitz and things like that in Germany. Oh, well, actually, it's in Poland, but like there's concentration camps that they leave up as tourists as a reminder, okay?
Yes.
As memorials. These people don't have statues of Hitler there.
Correct.
That's the equivalent. Yeah. Like if we had a monument to
like Timothy McVeigh outside Oklahoma, like
the person perpetrating stuff.
Yeah.
Let's never forget, so
Timothy McVeigh bombed this building. Like
if these Confederate Confederate statues were maybe memorials to
it's
a battle or something. Like, it's just
it's almost
weird.
like a modern day martyr. Like at that point, like this person died for something I'm sorry, I sound a little weird. Something like yeah.
You started all cutting out.
I can hear it in my headphones, but
we're fighting these chords today. We're fighting them all.
Yeah.
I wonder how this is gonna come out. It's probably gonna come out horrible. Yeah, blowing that shit. Blowing it like an NES. Oh, yeah. Oh,
so, like,
yeah. Chicka bow wow.
It's almost like a martyr because that person died for, like, what other people believed in. Like,
yeah, so it has nothing to do with two guys butt fucking.
Well, I went that way because, they would be offended if I put a statue of two guys butt fucking.
I'd be offended if you had two guys butt fucking statue.
I'd
be offended if you had a guy and a girl butt. Like, I don't want to see people fucking as a statue. Like,
I think that'd be pretty good.
Oh, look, there's a statue of people fucking. Hey, it's a memorial.
This is where the first butt fuck happened.
Oh, look at the first butt fuck.
Yeah.
No, like that made no sense to me.
I'm just saying about what
you'd be offended by butt fucking. Yes. Any fucking. I would be offended if we had a huge statue of any fucking.
I mean, I don't know. I walk like, huh.
We're not. These statues aren't specifically made just
butt fuck.
Hey, look at that. That guy is butt fucking that guy. These statues aren't made to offend. I don't think it's like an offended thing. People use that word term or whatever. Oh, you're offended by the flag. I see that a lot on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, Facebook made me put this down because people were offended. No one was like. That's not why things happen.
Yeah.
We don't want these statues to be taken down because they're offensive. That's the wrong word. Even if they do, they might offend people.
Yes.
But what they represent, do we want that to represent our country and our culture? Like statues and memorials and things represent our culture, our way of life, our history. As a country, we have to decide if that's what we want people to see. Now in the South, some of them obviously do. They want people to see, I don't know, is he a general? Stonewall Jackson?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't remember where he was from. He might be Civil War or anything like that. So that general or whatever. But they want to take pride in the fact that they fought this war. Because in their mind, they weren't in the wrong. It's like, like a second Revolutionary War. The one guy we were arguing with on Facebook likened it to a Revolutionary War that was put down. So instead of us beating the British, they try to fight the U.S. and you know what I mean? And they try to uprise these guys who were rebels, just like we were rebels against the British.
Yes.
That kind of thing. So, so it depends on, how long does it take to get over that?
I'm really loud now.
Wait, because you're actually speaking into the microphone.
I'm speaking. Oh yeah, no.
Because usually you're talking like far away, and you're just like, oh, I'm just talking. I have no idea where the microphone is.
I have to move around. He's really getting you with those head mics. But no, like the problem is too. It's going to take like another 100 years for people to finally let things go like this.
As long as the government's keeping us at odds, that's what all they care about. The Illuminati likes to keep everyone fighting about stupid shit like this.
Don't forget about the lizard people and the flat earthers.
The flat earthers have nothing to do with this. The flat earthers are the truth seekers trying to fight the lizard people who are trying to hide the fact that the earth is flat. Okay? They have no power. It's the Illuminati and the Masons.
Ooh, the Masons. You watch
them people.
Watch National Treasure. They'll talk about the Masons.
the stone cutters.
Yes.
They're the ones that are really in charge of things.
Yeah.
And the government and all this politics and stuff has no course of it. There's nothing real about that.
No.
So it doesn't matter. So they want us to fight over things like statues and red states and blue states and all this stuff. Really, they're stealing our green.
Really, at this point, the American people need to come together as one and
it's too big of a place.
And just fix shit.
It's too big. It's too big of a place. Too many differences of opinions. It's too big of a country that's too diverse in what it does. Like, if you're at like the Northeast, like where we are is totally different than say the Midwest or the Southwest, like California, like all these places. If you think about like Europe and like land masses and things like that in different countries, most countries are like the size of our states. Like
most things can fit inside of Texas.
Yeah. So like when you have that diverseness, it's almost like would have been beneficial for us to have been different countries.
Yeah.
You know, we just had this boner for going across country and having as much land as we want and getting rid of all the Native Americans.
We literally stole their land, bought California from the Spanish.
We literally walked around with our big boner, knocking Indians off their fucking land, going, excuse me, dick coming through, blah, blah, blah.
We bought Alaska from Russia. We bought Hawaii from Hawaii.
It was just, yeah. So we had this manifest destiny idea, but now it's weird because everyone's so different. Like the cultures are all different. Like going to other states could be like going to another. It's like a totally different country.
It pretty much is, yeah.
You know, whereas like you look at Europe and stuff, and you have these two countries, say like, Ireland or England and Great Britain and or Scotland and all this stuff. You got all this stuff that's like right in the same area as like say the United States. But there's different countries, Poland, Spain, like all this shit's it's just a ton of stuff and it's totally different.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the United States is kind of built geographically, but on paper it's one thing. And I think we're never going to be like one thing solidifying us all, one common rah America. I just don't see it ever happening.
No, I mean, it's tough for like, I don't know. There's so much going on to like how people disagree about the littlest things here too in America that it's like you
like fucking statues. The little things.
I'm not saying like global warming and stuff like that, but or climate change, but like we can't agree on things that will actually like all politics aside, we can't agree on things that will one day save us. It's but that's I understand everyone has their own opinion.
Fake science.
Listen, Bill Nye is not a fake scientist.
He went to TV science school. No, but it's I don't know. We're just fucking all over the place.
We are.
Why are we even talking about this?
Because I agreed with Andy on something,
and we spent 45 minutes talking about it.
Well, good, because we got 15 more minutes.
Well, I'm glad we turned into a political show today.
Well, give Andy something to listen to on his way to work.
He's like listening and go, God damn it, son of a bitch. Fucking God, son of a bitch.
No, because we didn't talk about like Game of Thrones season 2 is out yet.
Yeah, he's probably still listening, but he's boiling.
So, Andy, right now you can tune us out because we're going right into Game of Thrones.
We can't go to Game of Thrones, are we?
We got, what, how long?
15 minutes. We still have a contest. We should have wrote on the board.
Nah, well, we gotta do.
God damn.
Well, all right.
We can put off the. I don't know.
All right, 5 minutes of Game of Thrones. Real quick.
All right, quick Game of Thrones. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. So
wait. I gotta give you the countdown. Right? Or do I have to announce when it's time? Are you ready?
yeah.
On your mark. Oh, I should. Yeah, you should. I should time this. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Go.
All right. So, Game of Thrones, last episode happening this Sunday, 9 o'clock. Also, what's happening is Money in the Bank.
Yeah, wrestling and Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so we're going to...
Conflicted.
Yes. So, right now, Game of Thrones ends this weekend. Final episode.
8 years in the... Is it 8 years?
8 seasons in the making. They took a year off, so maybe 9 years.
It's like 20 years.
Yeah.
They had such time between seasons.
Yeah. So, 8 years in the making, or 8 seasons, and now it's finally coming to an end with an hour and a half episode.
And people do not like this this season.
No, they are
people
not happy.
People are not happy.
I mean, people are not happy that people are like, oh, that person's doing that thing. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Okay, so here, listen. I hate the fact that people are getting upset about something and not upset about the first thing that I got upset about. I was upset that the White Walkers died. Yeah, did it go again?
It kind of like fuzzy, but yeah, that's what I'm holding mine now. But you're upset about the White Walkers died.
You're fuzzy. Now I'm fuzzy. Oh man, is everything fuzzy?
Oh, is it those things?
I don't know if it's our headphones. I don't know. All right.
Right.
So
So
I was mad that the White Walkers lost.
Yeah, they were there from episode 1, like the pilot.
And so that's when I think people should have been upset.
Yeah.
But they weren't. They waited until. Oh, this is really weird.
Wait, you're good there for a second.
Was I?
Yeah, you're good there. Hold on. Just hold it in your hand now.
I'm okay. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Right.
So yeah.
So I was mad about that. The White Walkers win or lose, and then they move on. And what people got mad about was last episode where Dany. Was how do you say Dionysus or whatever? What's her name? Daenerys.
Yeah, Targaryen.
The lady with the dragon. She always says like this 1,000 words before her name.
Yeah.
The mother of dragons. The blah 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 blah. Where she went to. See, I didn't touch anything there.
I know that was bad again. See, I'm bad again. See, it happens at the same time, which makes me think it's something else.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. So
Anyway, so. Maybe it's headphones.
Maybe it's headphones.
I don't know. I'll have to listen back and see if it's like something you can hear.
Yeah. So if you don't hear anything, it's just us.
I wonder if we hope.
So
all right. So can you hear me?
Yeah. So yeah. So like everyone's upset about that. She went through and just wiped out King's Landing.
Yeah. She could have been. So she basically was like a quote unquote good guy through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then this last episode, she had a choice to she wanted to take over the last kingdom.
Yeah.
And they said, if they ring the bell, it means they surrender, and then you call off the guards. Okay, whatever. Well, they rang the bell, they were surrendering, and she just fucking burned everything up with her dragon. And turned total heel, heel turn.
Yeah.
But I saw this coming a mile away. It wasn't something to get upset about. It's something that they kind of telegraphed. You knew it was coming. You knew she wasn't on the up and up. But people were like, "Oh, why did they make Dany be the bad guy? Why did she?" I'm like, you're upset about that? I'm more upset that they the White Walkers died because one little stab of the king and we're the 8 years of myth and destruction goes away.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, she's the bad one. Why did she burn everyone, the innocent people? Like, that's what she's been talking about this forever.
Since season 2, she's been killing people.
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
She really had no remorse for watching her brother die.
And she always is stuck up and like, I'm going to be the queen no matter what. Like, she never showed she showed compassion a little bit, like when she freed the slaves in that one port or whatever.
Yeah, because you want slavery, but then the slaves murdered all the slave owners.
And then she just oh, whatever.
Yeah, they're dead. They had a chance.
So yeah, it was.
She burned up with the warlock who stole her dragons, all this stuff. Everyone who ever wronged her, she just murdered.
Yeah,
she murdered generals of the army, of Samuel Tarly's father and brother. She murdered them.
She was not a good person.
No,
so I don't understand. So people were getting all up in arms about that. They were up in arms about Jaime Lannister going back to his
His sister.
lover, sister / baby mama, and them dying together. And I'm like, it's been sloppy writing for the last like 3 years, really.
Yeah.
And it just didn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. So, but I gotta watch the last one just because we gotta
At this point, yeah, you gotta watch
the last one.
But it's like also like things have been
spoiler alerts.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I told him to turn it off or talk about Game of Thrones, but
You got 5 seconds.
No, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? No, I got my timer. Do you got a timer going?
Yeah, I was watching it.
Oh shit.
I think so.
All right, so but the last thing is like in season 2, there's a shot where Danny has a dream of walking into the Iron Throne room, and the ceiling being collapsed and snow or ash coming down. Like this has been telegraphed since season 2.
Yeah.
Of they're going to burn King's Landing.
And she's going to be the one to do it because she got dragons.
But then like there's ash or snow falling on the Iron Throne.
And the dragons.
So like things have been like
whatever.
Yeah. So don't be upset.
I've cashed out, but I'm still watching it out of just to say you got to finish it at this point.
It's just me like watching The Walking Dead.
Cashed
That's
out.
how I am.
I cashed out. Well, no, it's not even that. Like if they had another season planned, or if this wasn't the last episode, I probably would have cashed out earlier.
Yeah.
I would have been like, once the like White Walker died, I was like, the White Walkers get defeated. I was like, fuck, yeah,
they've rushed it. That's all.
I would have been out. I probably wouldn't like if they would have continued. I would have probably stopped watching. I wouldn't watch that next season if they continue. The only reason I'm watching is it's 3 left.
Yeah.
Got to watch the last 3.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't, I probably wouldn't watch another season. Or if they said they were coming back next season, I probably wouldn't watch it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they would do.
I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
This is just a poor season, I think.
Yeah.
But we went overtime.
We didn't. Oh well.
Overtime.
We will. I guess we'll talk about our.
Well, no, we got 10 minutes left. It was overtime for the. We only gave you 5 minutes for the Game of Thrones.
I'm sorry. 5 minutes.
Now we're cutting into the magic time.
Ooh.
Wow, chicka, bow, wow. We can put Ball Blast off. We were gonna say Ball Blast.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'll see what else happens with this. So.
Ball blast.
That wasn't loud enough.
Ball blast. Ball blast.
Nice.
So yeah, we have some Ball Blast news next week.
Yeah, we do.
Ball blast. Ball blast.
Got it.
Thanks. So, anyways, the last thing we're going to talk about is our contest.
I think we're gonna start a contest.
We are going to start a contest.
As we know, Summer of Hate's coming up.
All our faithful listeners know about Summer of Hate. Oh, I'm already building a list for Summer of Hate.
We got Summer of Hate going. Okay.
List.
So we decided, like last year we had the Summer of Hate. So this year, the Summer of Hate's going to be big. And there was a lot to do last year. So we're going to try to have an intern this year.
We are.
We should get we talked about this the whole time. The whole getting an intern kind of thing, right?
Yes.
So I think we should have a contest to pick our intern.
Okay. I like it.
So maybe, we need to like have like, so it can be like my summer with Zach and Felix.
Yeah.
Zach and Felix intern the summer or something.
Yeah.
We need to come up with something. This is a big announcement. We're going to have it a contest.
Zach and Felix have the intern.
For an intern. Zach and Felix have the intern. We need an intern.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to have a contest to see who would want to be the intern for the summer.
Yes.
Their responsibilities would be coming to being on a show.
Yes.
Getting us beer. Or
maybe organizing our cabling
figuring
here.
Figuring out why our cables are all messed up.
Yeah. Make sure Carbo Ronda Rousey's clean. No dust on her.
Yeah. Or anything else.
Yeah. Felix. Stop it.
Yeah, so we need an intern to clean up the board.
The board,
They'd be in charge of the board.
The board.
Keeping us on track. We had a little producing work.
Yeah.
Being like, guys, we've been talking about Game of Thrones for 45 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, however many minutes it's been. Keeping us on track and focused.
Uh-huh.
That would be something that an intern would be in charge of. Right?
Yeah.
It's things that we can't do if we're out. We're running around hating on people.
I know. There's so much
maybe the intern would be in charge of like putting up stickers.
Ooh,
of
stickers.
Like Zach and Felix Talk to Podcast stickers, getting like maybe some information about advertisement, being like the street team leader, getting people like going. And
we do need a street team.
So getting the name of the booking guests maybe. the intern would have to get guests for us to talk to.
Yeah, we never have any guests.
Something like that. It's been just us two for a while.
It has been.
People have just abandoned us. Remember, like, I was thinking about this, like, coming over, like, maybe, 2 years ago?
We had a group of people.
We had to buy this new thing because we had so many channels and more, we needed all these wires and microphones, and now it's like just me and you again.
Yeah, it was like
we used to have like
Coons
and
Coons' girl.
But we had all these people come.
Yeah,
every week. And we had like, different skits and it was a little different show.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we'll get back to that this summer where we do more of that kind of stuff. Maybe more people. We have a guest. We could call people.
I mean, some guests, if they don't want to be named or on camera, we can just see them off camera.
Hello, my name is.
No, but I think that's what we can do.
Yeah.
We have an intern. I came up with the idea of having a contest. That's what like radio and podcast things do.
Yeah, they just have contests.
Contests. Who one lucky listener will be the intern? Like,
yeah,
it's like was it 97 Rock does the employee of the day, the 97 Rock employee of the day, which basically just means I want you to play more Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do.
That's
but
pretty
yeah,
much it.
but all these we can't. So we have to be creative in how we're gonna do this. I wanted to announce that we're gonna do it, but we got to figure out how we're gonna do it. How we're gonna pick the winner, because usually or sometimes it's like the fifth caller wins the tickets to Kiss Live. I don't know. So we don't do. It's not a live show. We don't do live callers. We don't do call-ins. So we have to come up with an idea or a way that we would pick our contest winner for the intern.
Yeah.
Feats of strength, maybe.
Ooh, feats of strength.
I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna do this. We'll have to come up with some things. Maybe an essay. Maybe
I don't want to read though.
Maybe we have somebody do
if they could do a video essay
or songs about us.
Ooh, songs about us.
Maybe they make we got to figure something out.
Nice picture of us. I don't know, like
drawing, like paintings, or I think I don't know if want to do why I should be your intern kind of thing. We got to figure it out. Maybe we do like an online multiple choice questionnaire. See how much they pay attention to the show.
Yeah, in the episode 102 Felix said what at the 10-minute mark.
We'd have to know what it is first. Which song did we?
No, I was looking all blank, so they actually have to fill it out.
No, but I'm saying like we have like trivia.
Yeah.
Like what song got the boys banned on YouTube?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like which artist? Do you know this?
Yeah.
Why we don't have it anymore?
Yeah, I know why. It's the one song I picked.
Yeah, well, the song, one song that we played, like that's something that you can remember. Like,
yeah.
What are some other songs? Not songs, but like questions about the show, like the history of the show and all that stuff. Who won the first death pool?
That's true. Who was the first Diamond Dingleberry?
Who was the first Diamond Dingleberry?
Yeah.
Classics.
Yeah.
Classics that people would have to know. We can come up with a whole bunch of some questions, and then people would have to find out and look into our past and listen to all 180 episodes to find the questions.
God.
I don't
even want to do that. Tell me I'll just agree with you.
What was our first hashtag?
Oh,
do you know what it is?
I think I do.
See, that's a question.
Yeah.
What was our first hashtag?
France in the what?
That's not the hashtag.
No.
That wasn't our first one, but that's another one.
But that's another.
France in the face. Hashtag France in the face was a reference to what?
Yeah.
Like, what were we talking about? What were we talking about when I said France in the face?
Yeah.
What did I call Tom Brady's daughter?
You want me to leave the show again?
No, but I mean, that's something that, that's a history.
Yeah.
What band did we go back in time and watch Dolores have sex with?
How many people has Dolores had sex with? She admitted to.
Yeah, so I think we can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe the Or if we get an intern, they can listen to all the episodes and come up with questions. So how about we do that? Like for Facebook, people just start putting in, if you were to make a history of Zach and Felix Talk the podcast quiz, like what are some things you would put on there? What are some questions?
That's a good question.
What questions would you include in that?
Yeah. All right.
And then we can, or we can do other stuff. Maybe a battle to the death.
Ooh, battle to the death would be nice.
So we'd have to figure that all out. So next week we'll have some actual more legit stuff about it.
We will.
Are you okay?
I'm messing with my microphone.
I know. It sounds like you're like eating it or something. What are you doing?
I gotta push in on it.
We might have to reevaluate getting some more better stuff.
Yeah, we'll do that once we make money.
We gotta get that YouTube's money once that comes in.
All right, once that comes in, I will agree to maybe getting one thing.
We need to at least get these cords, I think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
All right. Well, until next week.
Don't forget to follow us on the Facebook and Instagrams.
And Twitter.
Twitters.
YouTube. We really need to post more.
Post what?
On any of those sites.
I post on YouTube's every
Oh,
week. We
and
put the thing up on YouTube's.
Instagram we don't. Twitter we don't.
Not so much on Instagram, and every once in a while I'll tweet.
Yeah.
I tweeted the other day or last week about the Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's true.
When I said I haven't liked Dany since Aquaman died. R.I.P.
Spoilers. Well,
any Diamond Dingleberry?
no, I don't want to give it out this week.
All right, we're gonna save it.
No, save it for an
Yeah,
intern.
you don't
maybe.
deserve it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. See.
Well,
Yeah.
have a good week.
Is it on?